But today you wanted in studio to talk a little bit about how to get that picture-perfect green lawn.
Yes.
And you say that if we want that in the spring, we actually have to start in the fall.
Yes, exactly right. And this is actually the best time of year to do those major lawn care things because the weather is the best.
Yeah.
We have pretty long sunny days still. We get a decent amount of rain and it's the right temperature that grass wants to grow in. Sometimes in the spring, even though the grass might be growing a lot, it can be too wet to actually do a lot of that lawn work and you can be causing problems. The September, sort of late summer into the fall, perfect weather, great time to do it.
Okay, fantastic. So step one, you want to talk about aerating your lawn, which I remember as a kid, like the guys come by your house and they're like, want us to aerate your lawn?
Yeah, still a thing.
Still a thing, yeah.
So you can do it yourself with the same tool, but you want to go rent it. Okay. So an equipment rental store will sell an aerator. This machine is called a core aerator, and what it does is it pulls little plugs of soil out of the top of your lawn. And the idea there is we're trying to get, as the name would suggest, air into the soil, which will loosen up compaction, which can be a really big problem on lawns where you have a lot of traffic. If you've got kids running around or if you've got a part of your lawn that you use as a walkway, it gets packed down, hard for that grass to grow. And so we want to release that compaction. So these funny plugs are what comes out. And you just leave them on the top of the soil. They break down slowly with rain. And then you can go on to the other steps that will just work better after that aeration is done.
Okay, cool. And also that looked like fun.
Yeah, right? Get to rent a big machine.
Yeah, just like push it around.
Yeah,
you go to your neighbors and be like, do you need me to aerate your lawn?
That's a good way to make friends, honestly.
I was going to say, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. All right, now step two, we've got it all aerated. What are we talking about next?
Top dressing. That's the next step. So we're going to use the lawn soil for that. And what we're doing here is we're trying to ultimately create a little bit of a seed bed for our grass seed that's going to come on later. This will also help to boost the soil health. And the big thing, especially when we're dealing with a lot of summer drought, is we need the organic matter in the soil. It helps to hold water. And so the soil is healthier, holds more water. That means the grass is healthier. So it's a combination of seed bed and then also giving the existing soil and grass a boost. Really important step. I like using bagged soil for this because there's no weeds. That's the big thing with bagged soil. Bulk soil, sometimes you can get that in, spread a bunch of it, and then you got a crop of weeds that are coming up, 2-3 weeks later. You don't get that with bagged soil. And a little bit goes a long way with this. So it's a very thin layer we spread. You don't need a lot.
Okay, cool. So we've got that done. The next step is this stuff?
Yeah,
what are we talking about?
We're going to essentially fertilize, but we're doing it a different way with worm castings. So what this is, in essence, is like a super-powered compost.
Oh, okay.
So it's organic material. It has nutrients in it, but what we're really doing with this is we're feeding the soil. So we're trying to get that soil to be active microbially, if we're going to get a little sciencey, and that will mean that the roots are going to be able to grow better. That's the main thing when it comes to our grass. It helps to loosen up the soil. It helps to hold more water, and as a result, the grass dramatically benefits. So lots of organic material. You can also do this with really any kind of compost, but this is like a really concentrated version. A little bit goes a long way with it. And you can also combine this with fertilizing. So this is what I usually do this with an organic fertilizer. That way you're feeding the grass a lot and you're feeding the soil.
Okay, got to do a double duty. We love that. All right, speaking of the grass, we have got some seed here, and this is from Sheridan Nursery along with everything, right?
Absolutely, all that we've got here today. And so the last step is overseeding. And this is, if you're doing one thing for your lawn in a given year, overseeding is the thing that you want to do. And what we're trying to do is just get more grass growing. And if you have an area where it's mostly sunny, maybe a little bit of shade, a kind of an all-purpose or a sun blend is going to be what you want. But it's really important if you're dealing with an area that gets less than maybe 5 or 6 hours of sun a day, use a shade blend. And you have to be a little bit more patient with this. This takes about 3 weeks to germinate, whereas the sun blends are more like 1 to 2. So be a little bit patient, but and also use a spreader. Grass seed has gotten a lot more expensive in recent years, so you want to make sure you're putting it down at the right rate, use a spreader, and then you get the proper coverage. Watering is a big plus. You want to try and keep that moist, but rain is the best thing for any kind of seed. So if you can do this on a day right before it rains, that's the best time for getting it to germinate.
I love the fact that you do this in the opposite order that I thought you would. Like the grass seed goes on top? Wild.
And that's important. You don't want to do that first, especially if you've aerated, because a bunch of that seed is going to be too deep. It won't germinate properly. Grass seed wants to be right on top of the surface of the soil, maybe tucked in a little bit, and that's where it's going to germinate the best.
Right on. Owen, thank you so much. Great.
Hey, Mary here. What did you think? Drop your comments below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the good stuff.